If you are just tuning in, this is NBC's Sheila Mac show here on KCAA Radio, the station that leaves no listener behind. I'm your host, Sheila Mac, and today I'd like to give a special thank you and shout out to Chipmunk Baking. That's right, Chipmunk is a Houston-based small business that specializes in making delicious soft-baked cookies from all clean ingredients that maximize both taste and health. Their products have no sugar added, no artificial sweeteners, or sugar alcohols. Instead, they use monk fruit to make delicious, naturally low-carb cookies with no added sugar, perfect for gluten-free, low-carb, keto, and low-sugar diets, or for anyone looking for a more mindful dessert option. And right now, as a thank you to the listeners, for those looking to try the Chipmunk cookies, there is a special 15% off code when you go to their website at CHIPMONKBAKING.com. That's Chip, C-H-I-P, Monk, M-O-N-K, Baking, B-A-K-I-N-G, CHIPMONKBAKING.com, and there you can get 15% off when you use the code Sheila Mac, S-H-E-I-L-A-M-A-C. So 15% off using the code Sheila Mac when you go to CHIPMONKBAKING.com. And let me tell you, they really and truly have made my dream come true to be able to eat healthy, protein and keto style cookies. I am gluten-free and I do have to watch my sugars, so I do not eat any real sugar myself. And so this is really a gift, and I look forward to enjoying these over the years. Thank you again, ChipMonkBaking.com.
Have you lost your job? Have you lost a loved one? Are you exhausted caring for your parents, for your kids? Well, you can find immediate relief when you read Sheila Mac's new #1 bestseller, Bootstraps and Bra Straps. It contains the Boots formula to move from rock bottom back into action in any situation, especially right now. If life has knocked you down, pick yourself up with Bootstraps and Bra Straps. Get your copy at www.SheilaMac.com today.
Are you ready for a reboot? Welcome to the Sheila Mac Show, reality at its finest. History reminds us those hit hardest often become the change makers. This year, we've all hit crazy economic, social, and emotional rock bottoms. We all get knocked down. Something hits globally, locally, personally. It affects our health, finances, our relationships. We have to recreate a business or career. Each show, Sheila and her special guest will be sharing their reboot stories, guiding you with real solutions to upgrade and up-level emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually, and financially. Here on NBC's KCAA Radio. If you're ready to pull yourself up by the bootstraps and bra straps, enjoy a listen. Here's Sheila.
Welcome. You are tuned into Take My Advice, I'm Not Using It, Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show. And it's so special because not only is this the morning show, it's another show because I have with me Sheila Mac. So I'm going to let her introduce herself, and we're going to do remember those Wrigley double mint gums? It's like the twins, the two shows in one. That's what we're doing this morning. So I don't think you'll be watching both, but you never know. If you enjoy it on my show, you'll watch it again on her show. But that's what we're doing today, just for fun, because you know me, I'm all about fun and laughing, and I love to do everything once. So without further ado, I'm going to let Sheila introduce herself, and then we'll come back to me. You already know who I am, but just in case you haven't been tuning in for this past month, I am Dr. Marissa. I am your host, and today the co-host is a double host, Miss Sheila Mac.
All right. Thank you, Marissa. Yes, and I am Sheila Mac, host of NBC's Sheila Mac Show here on KCAA Radio, the station that leaves no listener behind. And I share about how to reinvent, rebuild, and reboot your business and personal life on your terms. This show started when I actually was introduced by Dr. Marissa to the station and was sharing about my new best-selling book, Bootstraps and Bra Straps, the formula to go from rock bottom back into action in any situation. And this last almost a year and a half, almost 2 years now, it seems like forever. And just a minute ago, this has been an interesting universal pause, interesting situation. So I think that's going to be our main topic, is just discussing how we're rebooting and rebuilding during this very interesting time.
And for those of you who didn't know, by education, I'm actually an organizational psychologist. So I didn't make up the doctor just to sound important. I actually have a PhD in org psychology. So that qualifies me for not a whole lot, but BS stands for bull shiitake, MS is more shiitake, and PhD is just piled higher and deeper. But I actually help organizations with things like power, politics, miscommunication, conflict, leadership, valuing diversity, anything that combines the human dynamic at work. So I thought we would play with a couple of topics, whatever comes up today, because we are in a very one-of-a-kind, unique situation that absolutely no one anticipated. So I've just started labeling it. We are taking a peek out of the pall of the pandemic. So what is happening to you and yours over in Vegas? And I'll talk about what's going on with me and mine here in LA, as far as where people are, where are their minds at, where their hearts at, where their soul at, where is their freak outedness at, as they peak out.
Yes, that is so good. And I'm actually, my native home is still California, and I have a home in Beverly Hills that I actually rent out now, and have moved my main home and business to Vegas, and I love it here. It is different, but it is a little bit more free in some respects. So we don't have our masks back at this point. We're still pretty much going on. Did you get your vax? Did you not get your vax? All that. And whatever you believe, I think is probably true and best for you, because we have this inner guidance, this knowing about what is best for each of us. So that's it. And there's still some controversy, but we have people visiting from all over the planet. So it is different here, and nice. And it's very, very hot right now.
Well, we have that in common. It's very, very hot over here as well. I've been running around on location, and yesterday I got to cover the youth march, which is great. People, really taking a stand against racism and wanting to make sure that the death of George Floyd has a place as a catalyst for continued change. We have two viruses. We still have the virus of COVID. Now we've got a Delta on top of the COVID. And then we have the virus of racism. So, I can feel it already. It's like, oh yeah, that. Oh no, that. Oh. And so, Dr. Marissa, you're supposed to have a show about hope and happiness. What are you doing? Well, as Sheila mentioned, the reality is there is a lot of divided, controversial about many, many things. And the ticket is, as she mentioned, how do we take care of ourselves without getting bent all out of shape around what other people are thinking and doing?
One of the things I've always worked hard for is our educational system. I feel like we have a system that is broken.
Yes.
And it goes through so many different systems that need a reboot. And it's this time, this universal pause, to me, is the chance. And that's why there's anger, there's people voicing out, because we're ready for the reboot. We're ready for resetting this consciousness, this way of life. People are done, they're tired, and now we've all been sent to our rooms. We got sent on lockdowns. We got, everybody got a mask on to think about, what are you going to say next? And I think there's something to that.
Yeah.
We have to find the gift and the way to connect and to be in community with each other, because in community, that's where we're going to find the freedom that we all were used to and long for, the even better freedom that we're supposed to have and have not ever had.
Right.
That's something that I think is going to take all of us, and really grassroots shows like this, your show, my show, getting out there and making a difference in every way we can, even at home. It doesn't matter who you are, it's who you're being and all that you're doing and how you show up. That energy, the way we show up wherever we go, is going to affect the room. So have you ever walked into a room and somebody has a bad energy or a negative energy? Let's just say they're having a bad day, or they're doing some negative things. You feel it before you even hear what's going on. You can feel that energy drop. And it's the same thing for when we bring the good energy, that light energy, that love energy back onto our planet, one place at a time.
And that sounds like a delicious cocktail for moving forward into the pandemic. I'm getting the signal for the news break, so we're going to be right back. You are tuned into a double whammy today with the Sheila Mac Show and Take My Advice, I'm Not Using It, Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa. We'll be right back here on KCAA, AM 1050, FM 102.3, FM 106.5. The station that leaves no listener behind. We'll be right back. And we're back. You are tuned in to Take My Advice, I'm Not Using It, Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show, and
the Sheila Mac Show, right here on NBC's KCAA Radio, the station that leaves no listener behind.
And that was good. We're going to have to mark that and use that. That was so smooth. I've never really had a co-host before, so that sounded like a co-hosting kind of thing. So actually, that's kind of cool. We are here talking about, and we're going to move it into practical application. We got a little bit theoretical. We got a little bit, philosophical with the themes that we'd like to move forward with as we move past the pandemic, but practically. So I thought it would be fun if we, and this just came, don't worry, I didn't warn you because I didn't have this plan, but it was just, I love doing shows because when I say, speak through me, don't let me get in the way, let the words be done, the voice be mine, don't let me get in the way, things download. And so what I just got was this little game. You know how the word association game goes, I say this, you say that, you say what. So instead of saying one word though, I'm going to do like a cross between a phrase and a caller. Okay. So I'm going to give you the feed for me first, so you get the idea of what I'm getting at, and then I'll do one to you. Okay.
I'm going to swig a drink for this one.
Okay, I'll swig a drink. Cheers. Cheers. There we go. Okay.
All right.
Okay. I don't feel like going back to work. So you feed that to me. And then I'll take a stab at that. Okay.
All right. I don't feel like going back to work.
Okay. So totally understandable. We've gotten habitual. We've had an entire 97 days, 17 months, 71 weeks I calculated yesterday because I got to go back and see my big brother Michael for his birthday. So I calculated how much time it had been since I'd been back at the salon. And so we literally, those of us who were not isolators, those of us who were not homebodies, you may have been like me. I'm everywhere. I love going everywhere. I love traveling. I love the airport. I love all this. And I literally couldn't do that. And I would rarely stay home. I'd rarely sit and watch anything because I was too busy running around doing what I do, that I love to do. But I've gotten used to and comfortable and enjoy sitting and watching Downton Abbey. I mean, who knew? Like, I mean, The Good Place, With the Fork, all those things that I never used to do. And, thanks to the fact that we live in this country of United States of America, we got unemployment, right? No, I didn't. But for the person, yeah, I know we're not in that, but I'm just talking for the average person who got unemployment, right? It may not been enough. It may not been a lot, but we did have enough. And I'm not talking about the people who did not have enough. And I have compassion for them and I don't want to, poo-poo what you're doing. But for the vast majority of people who used up their savings or had unemployment, so got by, they didn't have to work. So there's a certain little habit of comfort, of a habit to not have to work. And so we're seeing it in the shortage of employees that are going back. Employers are having to use incentive. So my comment to you, if you don't feel like going back to work, totally get it. Totally, you're not abnormal, you're not bad, okay? But the fact of the matter is, it's not even about the money. I believe that all human beings are happiest when they are part of something meaningful. Now, I may be Pollyanna, not polyamorous. I may be Pollyanna, and maybe I'm wrong. But as a coach, as an organizational psychologist, I will say that the happiest people are those who have meaningful work, are part of something, they know they contribute to something that's meaningful. And work is not work. It is an important part of being alive and enjoying being alive. And when you don't have that and you take that away, you do get into sadness, you do get into depression, you do get into bad habits, eating a lot. COVID-19, 19-pound gain during COVID is what I call it. So we're all there. So now you have a choice. You can either continue the habit that may not be for your divine and best good. It may not be for your best edification long run. So that takes a little bit of blisscipline. That's for Michael. Blisscipline to say, okay, I could continue doing this, and collect money and use it and not be motivated. But at some point, I'm going to start feeling bad. And then you're going to go, I don't know why I feel so bad. And I'm going to tell you, I know exactly why you feel so bad is because you're not acting on your own behalf. You feel worthless because you are kind of worthless. You're not doing anything worthwhile. A little bit of tough love there. All right. So that was mine. Now, do you have one in mind that you want me to ask you, or do you want me just to go for it?
Go for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Loves a challenge. Here we go. Spending so much time with my partner, I have discovered that I don't like them. What do I do?
Okay. Wow. That's a good one. And there's something about love, and there's a fine line between love and hate. And sometimes it's because when you were starting to be in that relationship, maybe you were not authentic, or they were not authentic purely and fully, or because you've changed and grown apart. So there's so many different reasons that this can happen. the most important thing to do, if you want to stay in the relationship, let's make it a happy one. Get consulting, get a coach, get a therapist, get some help, read some good books, listen to podcasts, work together to find out what's bothering you about each other, what you love about each other, what brought you together in the first point, and why you want to stay, or you can move on in a beautiful, conscious, loving way if that is the best thing for everyone involved. So that's my advice. And before you jump into the next relationship, have those conversations first. If you're going to move in together, it's not the same as dating. If you're going to get married, it's not the same as dating. Things are really different. You could be best friends and you may not be able to live in the same house with that person. It could be a sibling. and you might just not be able to coexist because if you are just tuning in, this is NBC's Sheila Mac show here on KCAA Radio, the station that leaves no listener behind. I'm your host, Sheila Mac, and today I wanted to share with you about my favorite new tea. It is lovemysupertea.com, and let me let you hear a little bit more about it.
Tehibo Tea Club's original Pure Pau d'Arco Super Tea helps you build the red corpuscles in the blood, which can carry oxygen to our organs and cells. Our organs and cells need oxygen to regenerate themselves. The immune system needs oxygen to develop, and cancer dies in oxygen. So the tea is great for healthy people, and it can truly be miraculous for someone fighting a potentially life-threatening disease due to an infection, diabetes, or cancer. A 1 pound package of tea is $34.95 plus shipping. To order, please visit lovemysupertea.com. That's love, L-O-V-E, my, M-Y, super, S-U-P-E-R-T-T-E-A.com. So the complete website is lovemysupertea.com, or call 818-288-4128, Monday through Saturday, 9 to 5, California time. That's lovemysupertea.com at 818-288-4128.
Because you have different routines, patterns, and expectations. And Tony Robbins says, change your expectations for appreciation. You know, don't say, I want to go to this fight or this concert or whatever they want to go see if it's not something you're into.
Absolutely.
And they're going to drag you along and have a terrible time. Instead, find things you both love to do to make that 80%.
Absolutely. And I knew this was going to happen. We're already to the bottom of the hour. So we're going to have to take another break to thank the sponsors who make this double show possible. We'll be right back. You're tuned into Take My Advice, I'm Not Using It, the morning show, and
the Sheila Mac show here on NBC's KCAA Radio, the station that leaves no listener behind.
We'll be right back. And we're back. You're tuned into Take My Advice, I'm Not Using It, Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show, and
the Sheila Mac show here on NBC's KCAA Radio.
AM 1050, FM 102.3, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. KCAAradio.com, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeart Radio, iTunes, Audible, Tiki Live, you name it, we're there because we, and Mark actually was joking about this, between you, me, Stephanie Miller, and another myriad of women hosts. We're really, especially since we kicked out Dave Ramsey for his antiquated rules about being an employee. Huh?
I said bye, Dave.
Oh yeah, bye-bye. You heard about what happened, right?
Yes,
Mark was just on my show. Can you believe in 2021, if you have premarital sex, you cannot work for Dave Ramsey?
Well, that's a lot of people.
I was going to say there. I bet you there's millennials who are like, what's that word mean? Premarital? What's that? Premarital sex? What's that? Okay. So we were having a great convo. I think this was a fun exercise, actually. So it's your turn to try to stump me. We're talking about all the natural things that may be crossing your mind as we peek out of the pall of the pandemic. I got to trademark that. And you're having some reactions. So we're giving practical advice on how to deal with that. So we've talked about, before the break, we talked about what if, Sheila addressed, what if you don't like the person that you spent all the pandemic with? My question was, what if you don't feel like going back to work? Go.
What new chores or lifestyle habits have you had to add to your life due to the pandemic? For me, it's a lot of extra housekeeping and work that nobody wants to come out and do. I can't pay people to come help me. They don't, there's a lot of fear. And so I'm doing my full-time work and then my extra work all by myself. What do you do?
So I have discovered the joy of the little things. And that's it's my hashtag COVID silver lining. It's thanks to not being able to do those things. So some of you may have seen my post on, just going through a car wash and just feeling how clean the car is. It's such a little thing, but I've learned how to just treasure the feeling of having a full tank of gas and the feeling of a clean dishwasher. I mean, before the pandemic, I made a lot of reservations, but now I make a lot. I've discovered the joy of cooking. I've discovered my great aunt Golda's chicken pot stew recipe, my dad's ancient Chinese secret, not too much a secret anymore, spaghetti sauce, my grandma Anna's turkey burgers. And so the joy of actually cooking was not something that when I had kids, it'd be like, what's for dinner? I got to make dinner on top of all the things I got to do at work, blah, 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 blah. But to actually enjoy the cooking for myself, for one, and then the feeling of emptying the simple things, actually washing and emptying my dishwasher and having it completely. I mean, it's such a stupid little thing, but those are the things that I've discovered that I love that feeling. It doesn't have to be a giant accomplishment. It doesn't have to be, touring my 30 countries with my book. It can be as simple as, today I'm going to, go through my entire closet and shop in my closet. That was an activity that was actually fun. I mean, a lot of us cleaned out a year's worth of stuff. I don't know about you. I discovered like treasure trove. I forgot about that. Oh, I have that. And I made a shirt load of money on OfferUp selling stuff that I don't use anymore. And I calculated I saved $12,500 because I couldn't get a pedicure, I couldn't get a manicure, I couldn't get Chinese reflexology, I couldn't go out and eat, I didn't, gas, I didn't have to drive a lot. So I saved a lot of money, and that feels good. Yeah. So it's those little things, learning how. I'm still allergic to cleaning, though. That's definitely. I can't. That's like camping. I'm allergic to dirt. But yeah. So does that answer the question?
I love that. That's beautiful, and that is so true. I have had to be resourceful and resilient in these areas of figuring out how to manage. There were times where I was doing 17-hour days, and then somebody had to clean the house and do the cooking, because you can't just order. We can't even order the Uber Eats and all that where I'm at. It doesn't happen. You don't get that here. And so everything had to be prepared. And,
stored. And then I have family members that moved home doing the online dorm instead of going to the university. So I had this big family again. I have 6 kids that are all grown, but some of them came home. And so it was a big shift in my life. I learned how to do the dip for the powder dip for the nails. And I got that. And I was like, oh my gosh, do you know the powder dip you do yourself is like 1 or 2 appointments, and that lasts a whole year, the product.
Wow.
And I was like amazed. And I told my daughter, I'm never going back probably, because I got this and it saves me the 2 hours I would go, or 3. When I was in Beverly Hills, I'd have to drive a half an hour, pay for the parking, which sometimes you have to valet because you're running late and there's no spaces, or you have to run blocks. And then you get there and there's a big line and you wait, and it takes a couple hours to get your nails done.
Mm-hmm.
I do a 1 day a week spa day. So yeah, and I clean. This is my spa day, is my cleaning day. And I listen to Agape Live and different things on my Sunday. And then it's my cleaning day, but it's also my day. I, condition the hair, do the nails, all those things. And I make it a spa day. And then when my daughter's home, it's a spa day for us. And we might go take a walk or go listen to music. Now we have live music where we live, at least. So it's changed the way we do things. And we did save a lot of money.
Mm-hmm. And you sound like you appreciate what you may not have thought enough about to appreciate before.
Mm-hmm.
And I am so hoping that everyone, I preach about this all the time. I think I told you about the short film, my first short film that came out, the new PPP, post-pandemic possibilities, that I actually had you one of the first viewers of, because I want us not to rush back to normal. Let's not, just forget of all the things that we learned, some of them more painful than others, but some of them definitely live in the silver lining of what you have discovered about yourself. I know that a lot of people have really sharpened up their relationship skills. They've never been quite as attentive or quite as just relaxing into who you are, relaxing into this thing called life that is so magnificent when you take the time to take the breath. And we've had a lot of breaths forced on us to take it. And I'm hoping that, at the end of all the binging of shows that may not need, it's pretty funny. Some of the shows that got like top billing, it's like, only in a pandemic. I don't think they would have done quite so well had it not been for the pandemic. But just, when you reach that point of when you're tired of watching something that is not meaningful, is if you turn the camera on you. Do you like yourself 88% of the time? Do you like who you are without all of the other stuff? Do you have hashtag unconditional happiness for yourself? Now, if you're a perfectionist, you're going to say no. If you're a control freak, you're going to say, yeah, I'll be happy when you do that, or when that gets done, or when this is finished. And I hope that you don't go out of this pandemic without the understanding that no matter what happens outside of you, there's a beautiful African-American saying that says, when there is no enemy within, then no one outside can hurt you.
Yes.
Drop the mic. It's my favorite saying in the whole world, because it is the crux of what life is. People talk all the time. I don't know what my purpose is in life. I don't know why I'm here. I don't know. Complain. Baby, you're here to enjoy your life, to live your life and grow and expand and be the one of a kind, wonderful you are.
Yes.
And I know that I'm going to get an amen from Sheila on that, because we were both taught by the same teacher, Michael Bernard Beckwith, who knows who we are. That's why I call him my big brother. People don't know that. It's got nothing to do with the fact that we don't look like each other or the fact that he introduced me to Oprah as the Asian Oprah. It has everything to do with he saw me for who I really am, the one of a kind, wonderful, imperfectly perfect, 88% fabulous person that I am before I could see that. And that's why he's my big brother. He's the one who got me to forgive where I could not forgive before. Forgiving a mom that beat me to the point where I was in a hospital, who told me I was fat, ugly, and clumsy, which made me one of the 7 out of 10 of us who've had childhood trauma, which makes it me one of the normal people who've had childhood trauma, who pick a husband who, furthers the feeling of unworthiness that you have, and be able to forgive both of them, not because you condone what they did to you, but because it's about me and loving myself enough not to live in that hatred, not to live in that resentment, not to live in that dis-ease with life. And that's why he's my big brother. He taught me how to do that.
Yes, that is so empowering and important to remember those lessons. And for me, it's something that the moment I learned that happiness comes from me and is not dependent on any person, place, or thing outside of myself, was the moment where I was really empowered and free from a lot of the same stuff you just mentioned. And then to realize, oh my gosh, I can send those people love and light and say, wait a minute, unhealthy or hurt people will hurt people.
Yep.
They may not have the mental capacity to be in the loving, healthy space that we would expect. And so it's up to us to leave and stay at a safe distance or do whatever we need to send love and light, but to move on to the energy and frequency that serves us and the world better. So that's really made a difference for me in my life.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We're taught that being selfish is bad or wrong, especially if you grew up very religious. But honestly, from my other discipline from Abraham Hicks and the Law of Attraction, what I've learned that has taken my discipline to, just out of this world level is knowing that being selfish is a good thing. Putting yourself first is a good thing. Saying to yourself, being able to say, I complete me.
Yes.
Ooh, I've never said that. I complete me. I don't need you to complete me. The Happy 88 tool in my book is called I Bake My Own Cake.
Yes.
And if you compliment me or criticize me, that's just the icing. It doesn't make my cake. And if everybody on the planet could get that concept, so they're not walking around with their antenna going, who loves me? Who likes me? Who approves of me? Who gave me how many likes? Who made a comment on my social media? How many, am I an influencer or not? Da, 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 da. And then this constant outward looking that robs us from taking a breath. Let's do it now. Take a breath through your nose in and releasing, soft shoulders, soft elbows, soft knees. Another deep breath in. And releasing all the stories and the drama. And one last deep breath in. Connecting with me through Chi, eternal energy, the breath of life that connects us all. And in that breath, I can hear the voice that says, everything's going to be okay. You're loved, loving, and lovable. Come over here. There's light over here. There's laughter over here. There's joy over here. There's wonder and bliss and clarity and good timing and synchronicity. All of that's over here. Come over here, come over here, come over here. I love you, I love you, I love you. And when we can do that, then life's a joyride.
Yes.
Then all kinds of remarkable things begin to happen. But we gotta stop turning away from ourselves. Just hashtag unconditional happiness. It doesn't matter what the condition is around me. Pandemic, no pandemic. Partner, no partner. Kids, no kids. Health, no health. I can choose to be happy 88% of the time.
Yes.
And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
That is so beautiful and incredible. I remember the first time I heard Abraham Hicks speak or channel, and Esther channeling Abraham. And there's something when she said, listen to your inner guidance. Listen to that. You don't need to listen to anything outside. Like you said, people on the social media or family and friends, they may give you advice or ideas or negative, positive, whatevers.
Mm-hmm.
None of that matters.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to the inner guidance.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
That's it. You go with that, and it's been spot on, at least for me.
Yeah.
Except for when I don't listen to it, it also shows up that, oh, I didn't listen, and there you go. So
and there's never a punishment. You know, the way that I feel, like, let's say I step in it, the last thing I need is someone to say, I told you so, or you shouldn't have done that, or you shouldn't do that. I know that that thing, that energy, that love energy, and I call it my UPS man, my universal power source. And he delivers every morning when I pray and meditate. You can call it God. You don't have to call it God. You just knowing that you're just not alone, that you're part of something greater. So I just want to play not bad cop, but I do want, and it triggered me when you first said it at the beginning of the show too. When because I know you're really big into, and I agree with you on that inner guidance. But I'm going to be real for a second, because that's my job too. People love it. I have a client that used to call me the BS detector because I try to keep it real. And when I say I'm going to put the moose on the table, which is the elephant in the room, right? But I'm Canadian. I was born in Canada, so let's put the moose on the table. A lot of people's inner voice is really not the voice that you're talking about, Sheila. Your inner voice is the inner voice that is loving and, for you, never against you, and your inner knowing. I know that's what you're talking about. Mm-hmm. But I do know, both from my own experience and working with people, that their loudest voice is not that voice. Their loudest voice is the critic. Their loudest voice is the one that says, you shouldn't have done this. You shouldn't have done that. Why did you say that? You're not all that. Who do you think you are? And for many people, that is the voice. And so when people try to meditate, they got to medicate because they can't get rid of that voice. So if you're relating with this, give me an amen. And the good news is that's not the voice that Sheila's talking about. Exactly. That's your inner critic. And I talk about in chapter 1, Out of Loneliness and Hope, in 8 Ways to Happiness. And you got to plug your book too, because I have to plug mine because I'm the author, right? We know it, and we wrote it because we want to help people. But in my book, the other loud voice is the brat. So maybe you don't have a strong critic. Maybe you have a strong brat, and the brat says, what do you mean I have to meditate? I hate meditating. I can't sit still. This is bull. What do you mean I have to apologize? I don't apologize. What do you mean I can't have that Krispy Kreme donut? You're not the boss of me. What do you mean I have to work out? All of those things. What do you mean I have to get a job? What do you mean I want people to support me? So that voice is also not the inner voice that Sheila is talking about, but that's another highly developed bratty voice that many people have. And so what I call that inner voice is your balance-centered self. And so if you don't have a balance-centered voice that tells you that you're amazing and you're 88% fabulous, and when you step in it, it's like, oh, look at that. Isn't that silly? Or look at her, just step in that. She'll get it right next time, but oh, isn't she cute? So if you don't have that balance-centered, loving voice, that's your work. That's your work.
Yes, that is magic. That is the magic. And it's something that, especially when you're coming through childhood trauma or abusive relationships, when you get back on track from that, pouring in the self-love and learning to have that positive voice, maybe for the first time or again after a long time of not having that, that's part of the healing process. A lot of the clients I work with, when we do that, we do mirror work. I have my clients spoil themselves, and they literally will send me pictures of what, fun things they've done for themselves that they haven't done in years, but they would do for anybody else.
Right.
What would you do for everybody else that you maybe do for everybody else that you don't do for yourself? Yeah. That is something, when you're able to start doing that, you got to refill the vessel here yourself in order to be able to have it overflowing with love and light for everyone else. Because if you run on empty, there's not a lot to give.
Nope.
And this is where the burnout comes in. A lot of moms, especially, you give to your children, you give at school, you say yes to everything, helping out, raising the kids, and then you have to work too. There's not a lot left. And to, even if you're a parent listening in, how you raise your children, when you show your children, hey, I've got to refuel right now. I need to have this meditation time. I need to take this time. I did kind of talk out of turn. So let me take a moment, because what I really is I'm tired. I need a rest. I need to do this, that, and the other. I need that self-care. They're going to be able to do that processing too, and come in with those loving voices so that when they grow up, they have those voices in a loving way.
Yeah. It's just like the airplane. You got to put the oxygen mask over yourself before you give it to someone else. And I'm going to be bad cop again. If you're a person that's doing everything for everybody else and you're not doing something for yourself, then you're doing that to yourself.
Yes.
Because you're probably a perfectionist and you're trying to get a perfect mom award that never comes, or a perfect whatever, speaker, consultant, coach, whatever you're doing, you want to be perfect at it, and it's never going to happen. So you're constantly on that hamster wheel trying to prove to other people that you're perfect. So who's the issue here? Are you the one that says, I'm my own worst enemy? I'm my own worst critic. I'm harder on myself than I am on anyone else. When I get 99 99 compliments and one criticism, I think about the criticism and not the 99 compliments. Are you one of these people? If you're nodding, I got 2 words for you. Stop it.
Yes.
You're doing that to yourself. So when I coach perfectionists, the first difficult assignment is every 4th thing you have to say no. No matter what it is, you have to say no.
When I was young, this young mom with all these kids doing all these things, I said yes so much that the first time I learned how to say no, I literally was shocked. It was like a bad word came out of my mouth. I was like, what? Oh my gosh, I said no. And then as I got older, because I had my children very young, so then I learned no. I learned that no was a loving yes to something even more important. It could be my kids, it could be myself, it could be something else, but it's honesty. To me, it was just being real. If I don't want to go do something because it's not going to give me the highest joy at this exact moment, that doesn't mean I don't care about the other person. It just means I need to go do whatever brings me the highest joy at this moment.
Yes.
And it's made my life so much better. And to say yes, the more you say yes, that the universe brings more opportunity your way.
Absolutely.
Yes, but yes, in the way that you're saying no to those things that are not aligned with what you want, because then you're calling in more of what you say yes to, and more beautiful yes things show up. And we teach our children, co-workers, everybody sees by example, okay, that's what we need to do. Just be honest, be real. Yes, I always say I love my wildly imperfect, beautiful, authentic life, because it is wildly imperfect, but it's okay.
Yeah.
And I have somehow learned to be my best counselor, coach, consultant, and have a lot of positive self-talk in ways that are constructive. And there's always growth and improvement, but there's a lot of love. And it's made all the difference. You know, if I'm tired and I need to rest, or something needs to change because I feel it, I am forgiving. I am good with that. If things didn't get clean today, we can just, if you don't like it, you don't get to come in the house.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I mean, in the scheme of things, in the entire scheme of things, really someone leaving something that they always leave there, in the whole scheme of things, is it really worth losing an entire day pissed off? Because how many times do I have to tell you? And I'll tell you how it happened. I absolutely set myself on a timer. When something happens, I go at 16 seconds, and then I say, I can't wait to see what good comes out of this. And I just looked at the time. We're out of time. We're going to have to say goodbye. Where can they find your book, Sheila?
All right. So to get bootstraps and bra straps, the formula to go from rock bottom back into action in any situation, you can get that on Amazon, Audible, and at www.sheila.macmac.com.
And drmarissa.life. Doc Balance on Instagram, Dr. Marissa everywhere else. And as my Asian Oprah giveaway today, you get a free audiobook. So if you're listening to this, just go to drmarissa.life and put hashtag Asian Oprah giveaway, and I'll get you a promo code for a free copy of 8 Ways to Happiness from wherever you are. This has been lovely. I had a lot of fun. Sheila Mac, Dr. Marissa, we are the dynamic duo for you today. Have the best day ever. And remember, it's all about balance. Peace in, peace out, world peace through inner peace.
All right. Yes, thank you. And for those tuning in, we'll be back after these messages. It was an honor to be a guest also recently on Carrie Roberts' Extraordinary Things podcast. And one of the things that we talked about was the word for the day. And this is, what is your one word mantra that helps you to stay on track and focused even through these very interesting times? So here's my response to Carrie's question about the one word mantra.
I like to ask all my guests, Sheila, is what is one word or quote or mantra that you try to live by every single day?
That's the being. In all I'm doing, it's who I'm being. So whether I'm walking my puppies, cleaning my house, working with my clients, having fun with family and friends, it's who I'm being, how I'm showing up, that's going to make all the difference.
I love it. Well, I congratulate you on your growth as a person, your ability to be perseverant and work hard to live the life that you want, even when it comes at you unexpectedly and crazy, and how you're helping others to do the same. So thank you so much for sharing your story, and I look forward to hearing more.
All right. Thank you. Is not one size fits all, just like a pair of boots or a bra. So the formula is designed to help you through any situation. To grab a copy of my new best-selling book, Bootstraps and Bra Straps, the formula to go from rock bottom back into action in any situation. It is now available on Audible as well as on Amazon and Kindle, and at www.sheilamac.com.
Tahibo Tea Club's original Pure Pau d'Arco Super Tea helps you build the red corpuscles in the blood, which can carry oxygen to our organs and cells. Our organs and cells need oxygen to regenerate themselves. The immune system needs oxygen to develop, and cancer dies in oxygen. So the tea is great for healthy people, and it can truly be miraculous for someone fighting a potentially life-threatening disease due to an infection, diabetes, or cancer. A 1-pound package of tea is $34.95 plus shipping. To order, please visit lovemysupertea.com. That's love, L-O-V-E, my, M-Y, super, SUPERTEA.com. So the complete website is lovemysupertea.com, or call 818-288-4128, Monday through Saturday, 9 to 5, California time. That's lovemysupertea.com at 818-288-4128.